Hi, Jackson here at Song Mentor, and today's song was written in 1970 by Elton John and his lyricist Bernie Taupin. It was one of a stockpiled group of songs that they'd written together. I mean, one of the greatest songs of all time, and it's a stockpiled song. Amazing. Anyway, he took 10 minutes to write Your Song, and then later that day Bernie Taupin threw together the lyrics, which are magnificent lyrics for a love song. Your Song was the flip side as a single of Take Me to the Pilot, which got airplay in the United States, which is a great song in its own, but the DJs in the States who played it soon began to prefer the flip side, the B-side, Your Song. So here's 1970s Elton John, Your Song. Your Song is a piano song. So I've gone online, looked at some of the versions, and there are a lot of different versions online in a lot of different keys. We're going to play this in the key of D. That's taken down half a step from the E flat that it was recorded in. So if you want to sing along with Elton on this, put a capo on the first fret and you'll be where he is. But I think obviously D is going to make it a lot easier song to play. I'm going to try and make it easy for you, but at the same time the number of chords is challenging, and just some of the subtleties we play with the chords in this song are going to be the challenge of this one. Here are the basic chords you need, and then later I'll mention it quickly now, but then I'll show you the variations later. You need an open D, and you're going to need a D sus, which we'll talk about later. You need a G major 7, and that is formed by form a G7 chord, which sounds completely different than the G major 7. There's a G7. All I'm going to do is take my pointer finger and move it up from the F note on the high E string up one fret to the F sharp note. And we get a jazz chord just by doing that one simple change. G major 7. You're going to need an open A, an F sharp minor bar chord, a B minor bar chord with some variations, which I'll show you later, but essentially a B minor bar chord. You're going to need an F sharp bar chord. You already had the F sharp minor, you also need the F sharp. You're going to need an open G, and finally you're going to need an E minor. And so basically I think we're working with 8 chords there, and then a few little variations as we move along. And those are the chords you need. Again, we have a piano song here, but let's talk about a nice simple strumming pattern we can use throughout the song, like this. A little bit funny, this feeling inside. Okay, pick, scuff, up, up, up. Pick, scuff, up, up, up. Pick, scuff, up, up, up. So it's kind of a pick, a little bit of a secondary pick there, and then up, up, up strum. You know, just get a nice feel for it, but that's what you're working around, is that pick, scuff, up, up, up. There you go. Nice simple strum pattern for this song, Your Song. Alright, just before we get into a little playthrough of the opening and the first verse, let's talk about those little variations that I mentioned. One is coming up on the B minor chords. So what I'm doing there is playing the regular B minor and picking down on the B note on the A string with our strumming pattern, and then opening it up to an open A note. I'm still playing this sort of the A minor formation here, and then with my thumb picking down on the G sharp note on the E string, and then to the G. So the sequence is B minor over A, B minor over G sharp, and then the G chord. So you need to practice those a little bit. Okay, and the other little variation is at the very end of the verse. We're going to play A, and then an A sus A. So that's just made again by adding the third finger to the D note on the B string to that open A chord. You hear the feel for that? Okay, those are the little variations. Let's get into the intro and a verse. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. I don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. I just want to show you where the D sus chord comes in, and it comes in the transition into the, if you like, the chorus part of the song. So at the end of the second verse, instead of going to that A sus chord we just went to, it goes to a D sus. I'll just go from the third line of the second verse and show you how that takes place. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody. Okay, so you see at the end of that second verse, instead of... All right, well, let's play through a chorus. One thing I want you to watch for in the chorus, well, two things actually. One is that there's a stop on a G chord in the middle of it that's really nice. And secondly, that it ends in the A sus as opposed to the D sus like the second verse. Here we go. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is. Now you're in the world. All right, very cool. We have time for a full playthrough. Love that. Just a little note that we'll end the song the way we began it, with the D, G, A, G, D progression. Okay, here we go. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. I'm not one of those who can easily hide. Don't have much money, but boy, if I did, I'd buy a big house where we both could live. If I was a sculptor, but then again, no, or a man who gets potions in a traveling show. I know it's not much, but it's the best I can do. My gift is my song, and this one's for you. And you can tell everybody this is your song.
It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is while you're in the world. Sat on the roof and kicked off the moss with a few of the verses. Well, they got me quite crossed, but the sun's been quite kind while I wrote down this song. It's for people like you that they keep turned on. So excuse me for getting, but these things that I do, you see, I've forgotten if they're green or they're blue. Anyway, the thing is, what I really mean, yours are the sweetest eyes I've ever seen. And you can tell everybody this is your song. It may be quite simple, but now that it's done, I hope you don't mind, I hope you don't mind that I put down in words how wonderful life is that you're in the
All right, a little bit of fine tuning here. What a pretty song. Love that song. And forgive me if I didn't do some of the phrasing justice there. Elton John had a wonderful knack for phrasing, and never having sung this song before, it was a little bit of a challenge there for me too. But you find your own phrasing, because that's the beautiful thing about it. If Elton John sang this song 6 times in 6 nights, the phrasing might be a little bit different each night. Some of it's just feel. So find your own feel for that. Here's a little connector that you can try, experiment with. Comes in at the beginning, or rather the end of the first line of every verse. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. Okay, and all that is, all I was doing there was going from the D chord. It's a little bit funny. There's the G major 7. And my finger's already there on that F sharp note, open E, D note, this feeling inside. It's a little bit funny, this feeling inside. Okay, that's just another example of a little connector you can use. You might also notice as a fine tuning point at the very end of the song. Beginnings and endings are really important in music, and if you retard that ending a little bit, it just finishes it off so nicely. People are hanging on that last D chord you play. All right, there's Elton John, Bernie Taupin, the beautiful Your Song. We'll see you next time on Song Mentor.